Yeah, elimination is on the line. It's TV's pick, but this is a map that Ghost Gaming kept in the dark for the entire Swiss stage just to come back in the last round to qualify for main event by botting Prosperity X 13-2 with a sub in the roster. Now, that did add an ounce of aggression because it was a clove now for Kataris' Omen, but we just saw the Kataris Omen on Lotus. It was one of the shining spots in that 6-13 loss. So, with a composition they know they have played as a 5, I am confident that this is going to be a closer matchup this time around.
All right, TTV looking to continue their tournament life here with a win, and Ghost want to stay alive in this series if they can take Haven away from TV's pick. Do they trade maps? We've been getting that a lot lately. We really have. NUI is going to look towards short real quick to say, what kind of util and how many people? Oh, okay, sorry. Nope, NUI down. Yeah, that was a quick adventure.
Yeah, a quick answer to what the desk mentioned, right? NUI running into both of those duelists and losing the engagement. Losing the first blood, it forces TV to gather, re-execute into the C site where the Cypher's down long, the rotations from the site, the Yoa rep comes through. This should be a decent pinch, and Bunny B proves so.
Right into C. The util's already coming in with paranoias and whatnot. Oh, because Aerial's coming in from behind. It looked like they couldn't even get in from the back of the site. Or I should say the defender's side. If they're already on the loop around, lurking in fast, flanking, I should say. And Ghost come up with a very, very quick one. Yeah.
Yeah, Aerial pushed C long from the get-go while that aggression was kind of stone-facing the players. They probably heard the stampede down grass into garage, and the gate crash again from Bunny B was perfectly placed. And that's one of those players, and I'm glad to see Bunny B also on the duelist, because Vanitas needs that pressure taken off of them after that kind of misperformance over on Lotus. So all in all, this is a little dicey. Aerial, you got away with the last round, but be careful with that deep cam, because the entire squad for TV about to roll up off that fault line. And this interesting one-way kind of setup for maybe a Shrouded step in.
Yeah, covered now. You can see that Bunny B was kind of reading it a bit too. They have taken this A space. They're going to have to be careful to get this back, though. I think Kaide is kind of sniffing this out, but the rest of the team's going to have to use some util to get through this with that long range and the short range.
Ooh, this is nice, though. As soon as the Sova makes contact, I was expecting that to come out. But instead, it's actually the drone just to get completely stripped away. All that information robbed away. And I love this. Contingency just to get out of dodge. Like, you realize you might have bit off a little more than you can chew, and now it's no harm, no foul. It's still 5 players strong. It's still all the weapons in hand. And you're going to play hand in hand here, hopefully with Miara, to handle the oncoming pressure.
Oh, all classics. You're just going to get a family photo peek out of TTV right now.
Oh.
They are going to have to swing a nice hide, cut a little time. They're going to get double scanned. Oh, run, go, get out of my way. Okay, they're good. And now they're good. And they've avoided everything for now. Kaide's still got the backside. And they are still running into the strong site here for what Ghost has set up. Let's see how they do.
Nice stun, but the flash follow-up comes in clutch to support the players. For Ghost to try to take these kills, but it's NUI to come alive to overwhelm the shutdown player after player. And now with 10 seconds left, Aerial grappling with, okay, do I wait for the Omen flank? Do I try to deny the plants? And now, ladder taking Kataris. Spotted out by NUI. They're on for the ace now. On the second round Thrifty potential.
This is crazy that TTV is able to do this and just pummel a site. They drop. Oh, Aerial. Oh, my God. Almost the kills from Aerial. The triple is, just out of range as Mizu Babe comes up with a necessary kill to keep the Thrifty alive and lock it in for TTV.
Thank you, production. I need a replay of that moment because that was insanity. And if we saw the final shot as well go the way of Aerial, it was going to be just insanity. You saw the recognition from Babison, head on a swivel, but it's Mizube headshot with the classic to tie us 1-1. And I mean, Ghost, you finally get a pistol this series in the second round. It gets thrown away in the last 30 seconds with a pop A aggression. I mean, all that. Now you have weapons. Now it's the bank broken with shares for the side of Ghost. You gotta get aggressive again in the ISO, toying with the idea. You have Paranoia out of garage to set her up.
I love that play here by TTV. Like you said, the pop play, bringing it down to the pressure cooker when the clock is already red, basically. It kind of makes an ISO and a Yoru feel uncomfortable, right? They want to be in control of the situation, not defending with their flashes and walling up here. They want to be creating the situation. But now they're going to all rotate towards A. It looks like we might get a hell of a fight here if we don't quickly find out. And Kaide calls everybody back over to C.
I really liked that, right? The flash out of Garage, you expect aggression to follow it up grass, so they want to go away from that when they have the better weapons. So this has been a perfect bait to draw these players towards A, but like you mentioned, Kaide is creeping down C long, slowly but surely. The drone likely going to spot out some of these players, and that's when I expect the rotation to come through, but look at this, Ghost. The tempo under their control, they're pushing short, and now you're suddenly surrounded. You can't get out, because Bunnybee's found Sheriff shots. There's a shield up for Vanitas, who should be good for one, but all in all, I mean,
30 seconds
the pieces,
left.
you have C control, Kaide should be able to even the numbers here. This still feels okay for TV, even though they ran into the stack.
Lurk Day activated again.
Cover going out.
How far to Gong for now?
Back
And that's
Sina.
actually going to, it's going to be a swap. Ships in the night. They're not going to have numbers now. Well, they're going to anyways, but as they go to C, it's a little bit more precarious.
Oh, Kaide
think
playing
the
for the
read's
win
there.
factor.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my
Does it matter?
Oh my god! What the hell? Madison just ducks at a carnival left and right as the members of Ghost come out there to rack him up with a Vandal. 4 in a row, farming the ecos and bringing the ult 2 away from being online. Let's get a replay of that thing.
Oh,
my
yes,
gosh.
please. I mean, again, you had Lurk Day set up in the background as plan B, but you didn't even need it. So now they're not going to know that Kai's been able to lurk through C unimpeded on these heavy A pressure points. I mean, one after another, eco frags for dinner. I mean, that's absolutely absurd as the newest member from this squad. And now, I mean, that's just going to be confidence, right? It's going to fuel them in this sort of grass expedition. And Honeybee, you got to hit those because now, I mean, garage controllers get established.
Yeah, it's just it's such a good move too, right? Ghosts have very few openings that we've seen so far, and that was a really nice one. Just not enough pen damage on the wall. You can see Irene very hurt as they start to push into sight. And UI up top and drops 1, but Ghosts come back quick with 2 and 3, and possibly a 4th.
Look at this, Guitarist gets out of safety before the dark cover drips, trying to just play their life in this situation. Wait for Miara to play contact off of to deal with Irene. And now it's all down to the clutch master, Kaide. And again, Ghost playing things safe. No, they can't throw away another round that they've established an advantage in. Wait for Vanitas, wait for the drone. Is he gonna spot her? It does.
Oh, just missed. Playing the aggressive position. They're waiting. They're like, we know Kaide. Kaide will push, right? Ooh, the double tap. Being able to save Vanitas just for a moment. Getting that
closer
shield
comfort.
up.
But the round goes regardless the way of Ghost. And this was interesting. I was curious again because we did see the swap up from Mateo to Sova on the side of TV, how that was going to function. And Madison clears all the trap wires, allows for the easy breezy entry from Manine and Handle, you know, even Aerial. All that should have been a nice setup for TV, but it still went the way of Ghost off of that re-aggression from Miara. The tag team with Guitarist in their own sight smoke.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And they're realizing they have to get a little bit more aggressive. They can't keep giving TTV this space. Interesting to see Ariel stay sight here. It gets the smoke for safety, but they are going to back up to play this one a little safer. Everyone is reacting on this lower buy from Ghost to make sure those weapons get even more efficiency from everybody being around them.
And again, if they don't see presence, I think we've seen Ghost have a really good read of when this ship is headed to A on the side of TV. Navigation course set, the drone super proactive. Not gonna spot anybody just yet, and we thought they made it past, but Aftershock more just to keep the players at bay from punishing the ping of the recon, and now, again, you're relying on Kaide to open up a backdoor option, and it seems like they have, but look who's also in your backyard, Ariel!
Oh, we saw the Guardian coming into that second round play. Is it enough for this one? Just short on the shoulders there. Knighting Irene as they get the kill. Another one comes through from Miara. Here it is now. It's the garage lurk. We haven't seen too much of this.
30 seconds left.
Or stay there. Oh no. Very good pinch though, and Reese coming out of CT, and it doesn't even matter. Side smoke more just secures the plant. And again, buddy system up. Figure out how to take these 2v2s. I mean, you have even the Rolling Thunder online here, right? So at this point, play offsite, play safe. Is exactly the route that TTV's taking. So all in all, could be difficult in my mind, and I think that's why I want to see this contingency. I want to see Vanitas push forward down C long. I think you just heard the reload as well.
Both teams' money a bit funky on this, so the wind's always going to help. Miara with one, a great double swing, but NUI is able to clear one on slicing that pie. Is it going to be, again, a quick jump across, trying to play some more games. Pulls out the Vandal for the shot. Taps it, gets the defuser, Miara, and it is going to be another round for TTV. Money is going to be a bit shot here for Ghost with just a bit on Bunny Bee, but the Red Bull clutch means TTV should be able to pull away with a few rounds.
And again, it's such clean openings, but the closing has been dicey. They played that smart, right? And it's just the textbook spike timer that gets played by and we.
Yeah.
And again, it's like, what could you have fixed? Like, Vanitas tried to get out of dodge maybe alongside Miara after fighting the initial kill, because all they wanted was the Rolling Thunder, right? That's what was going to stop them from defusing. But coming to the next round, it looks like they're realizing maybe we still are being a bit too passive. Let's send ISO down mid.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh. Oh, you're gonna peek it? That was read like a book by TV.
I know exactly.
Yeah, I was totally down with you for that play. It looked really nice on just lurking up to kind of hide outside some doors, some windows, and now they went straight on through style. So now it's TTV clearing the closed corners. I don't even know. Will they commit? Yeah, it looks like they will. They got all the defense set up behind them here, and they are ready to get into the site, but so is Ghost. Are the shots there, though?
I mean, this is Bunny Bee. I think it is, and that's why the Rolling Thunder, even on an eco round, has come out on the side of TV. But no harm, no foul. No one dies. Bunny Bee got the Dimensional Drift online, so all the information to hopefully guide this retake. 2 default, 1 hell. Ariel looking at a way to combat, and then it's the cage to try and scale into hell and take the one.
Oh, these plays are so smooth, and they're almost happening, but TTV is able to rebuttal back with each shot, each trade. Irene's got the final one. These Guardians are singing this game, and TTV is going to be on the winning end of that. 4-2 now as they pull off an A site take there, a little bit spread into the round after a mid push from Ghost. So Ghost is getting active, Zobi, but maybe a little too active once they're in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, part of me is like, okay, I really wanted them just to deposit, sit upside out of the window, maybe play a timing, but then we saw the proactivity from TV, right? Unwarranted, they flash and re-clear it immediately from NUI. So, like, that was just like, again, like, what can you do in that situation, even if you had not pushed through? All in all, again, they're doing a good job keeping tabs on this ISO, so that's why you want to see Bunny Bee have their back, and that's exactly what happens with this A main play.
Oh, they get super separated on that flash. Some Vapors didn't get flashed. You saw NUI trying to rotate back in, and it did not work. They all get taken down, and Ghost finally says, "No more getting pushed around. We are going to flex on this this round," and they take all that space on A.
You have Spike. I don't know where Kaide is going. I mean, you have Pele, you have a trap in garage, you have Omen posted up on B, so you're kind of expecting her to be hold up towards spawn. Drone clears window, the rest holding spawn side. Kaide says, I don't care about your drone, I want to take these duels. And Bunny Bee playing so cautious, the right click classic to finish it off, and Ghosts are again keeping things close for this defense side of Haven. And again, with this composition, it is so kind of like heavy on the early round impact, the early round kind of success. We're playing full retake here, and it's kind of been one or the other. You haven't really had, again, these 2v2s where it kind of is a close mid-round go the way of Ghost. So they need to keep this up, and I'm kind of worried because TV is good at starting to respond to that, kind of waiting out that sort of pressure like we saw over on Lotus.
And hopefully Ghost can rest on the fact that they're back to a composition that feels a lot more comfortable than changing so many things we just saw in Lotus. It didn't click, and we're seeing this come together way quicker in just how they're taking it, how they're supporting each other. And UI goes right in and actually backs everybody off, so Ghost can play a little bit more of the retake, but is it possible with the contract?
I mean, Irene says the Stinger's not going to get the job done. Pull out the classic, but Vanitas wins their engagement. Kaide, the backdoor option, tries to open up another avenue, but that's also shut. Close for construction, and Ghost keep it very, very clean. And part of that, to me, I think, came out of the fact that they were planning on pushing down C long aggressively. So it was kind of like right players in the right place at the right time for that heavy B aggression. And all in all, TV saying, okay, we're not getting away with some of the, switched up plays like we were over on Lotus. So let's talk. Let's get a little bit more concrete. Find a way to, again, counter these really kind of stark openings out of Ghost.
I think they're doing a good job at reading, too. TTV kind of goes back to a composition where they don't get to do much faking either, right? You know, you kind of want to have breach where you're going to attack. Sova may be able to drone fake, and then you can have NUE on that early, or NUI on the early lurk as Kaide calls everybody back again. But I think Ghosts are kind of figuring out they can play a little bit disrespectful in that sense. Once they see one thing, they're able to infer a lot more now. Maybe they have a little bit better read than they did before, especially on Lotus. But yeah, the comfort again for the composition they have starts to put the pressure on. And now you see TV calling the timeout, figure out how they want to play. The ult for Battison is online, so you know maybe it is an up the gut play where they use that right away, or they try to go for a fast sight, get the plant in post, but nothing really close besides Kaide's ult there. So we'll have to see what they do coming out of this timeout.
And I'm trying to think back towards Lotus and like when I saw big changes. They weren't frequent because everything was working really for TV. But I'm thinking back to when they finally decided to fight a head-on for their attack half. And I feel like that could be also the strategy they go for here on Haven, right? They know there's been kind of this duo or this trio fighting towards A long. They lost the engagement kind of surprisingly 2 rounds ago. But what if they're prepared for it, right?
Yeah.
Fault line, set NUI up. That's exactly kind of what they're poised for.
Yeah.
But Bunny B and this ISO have other plans. They're playing a little bit more safe, but still just as aggressive.
Yeah, they're looking to shatter from that B area right across. That vulnerability just a little bit. No. Cancel. Call it back. They do get a lot of info on Long, though. Holy moly. But actually, everybody can stand still with that because, you know, they're not activating. They're still trying to cut audio and play secret. But still, this is aggressive positioning from Ghost for the situation they just saw.
Look at this. You can see Bunny be starting to try to flip the site. Kaide is looking over towards B. The ISO left to handle that for the time being. It feels like, honestly, TV's winning the game. They're getting so much utility out of Ghost right now without having to invest their own. It makes it more dangerous. It'll make it a little bit easier of a site exec. But look at this garage party coming out. Oh, they get overwhelmed by the timing, the rotation to see. The pings come out on the side of Ghost. And now they have to, I was going to say, cut their loss and finding Kaide. But Ariel in a good position to handle that loose end.
They wonder when it was coming through. Just making sure the team is safe. You're going to have the rotation as well from Bunny B. And they are going to have to act fast. Ghost looks like they're floating in right away. Anyway, takes down Vanitas, though.
Oh, the flank as well, brewing from Bunny B. Do have Mizube watching it, but it's not watching the spike plant. 12 seconds left. You've got to get it safe, so it's planted instead, tucked away in box. Where Ariel out of garage was gonna play to disrupt, but the timing just misaligns, and now slow things down. You have a disadvantage on numbers, but HP is low.
Safe.
Here.
For now.
Very close. Yeah, for now. Just long enough to play your life and be a little bit more of a distraction. Bunny B, though, takes one. They see the head. They know one's platform. Ariel's able to clear that on the angle. 14 health for Irene, and this is going to be one of the toughest things that they've done in this series so far to get this 2v1, the 1v2 rather, and Irene goes down 5-4 now as Ghost snuff a TV timeout.
Really, really nice round from Ghost. There was a little bit of a slip up, like we said, that missed timing where NUI and we saw Irene start rotating through spawn. But all in all, Ariel kind of jumps over the hurdle, still finds a pick onto Kaide, and that opens up the flank for Bunny B because like you mentioned, Hunter Fear was online. They were going to try and play the post plant. And so they disrupted all of that, and even though NUI tried to get aggressive into CT, it was handled. They finally won out a close clutch situation. So all in all, that breaks the bank for TV, gives Ghost a stark lead again on a defense even, and things are shaping up quite well so far on this map.
Kaide is zooming for this low buy here over towards short as the team tries to go left side, but they're still quite split. And I love that Ghost is still being proactive. They're trying to learn what's going on in the map in these rounds so they can start to pick apart TV, and that's the opposite.
I mean, we talked about how they were kind of falling short on the grass pressure. This time they come away with the first kill, and they get out without getting punished as well. Partially because of the paranoia from Katara's forcing the respect here, but this is what we've seen time and time again. Kaide able to make space elsewhere. They followed up quite well. And as a result, they should get the plant down, which is huge for this eco round, especially if Irene gets the spike handed off. Because, Rolling Thunder gonna come online one way or another for the next round. Hunter Fury actually out. They're respecting the eco of TV. They want this 6.
Ooh. Okay, a little trade back. Oh my gosh, just absolutely killing people right off of the map with the Hunter's Fury here, and it's going to be one left. Miara just battling through the choke point of defender spawn to get back in. And what a trade, what a play. The reactions of TV in these situations. I mean, they're giving Ghost a run for their money, and Ghost the same here. We have a much different second map of this series than we did on others.
Not over yet. Miara, and again, the ace gets denied. Again, it's Mizube with a pistol in hand to deny heroics on the side of Ghost to get us up tied 5-5. And really, that round, like we talked about, okay, TV as a team, you know, that was a great reaction off of Kaide's lurk to get the spike down A, but that round fell apart because the individual action of Badison, whether that was called to be invested by Mizube or it was just individual decision, that getting 2 kills there onto the Ghost players allowed deep space CT to be taken, that graffiti CT setup to be established, and all that bought enough time to win out the thrifty to tie us up here and keep Ghost from either an even or an advantage half still.
Still this mid control here from Ghost, but they lose garage control. Somebody forgot to shut the door. That was very quick. Oh, Aerial has been so clean. You called it on Lotus too. They're showing up even in the rounds where the team was having trouble, and then again here on Haven, Aerial continues to perform and help the team get back to level here on round 11 as we're all tied up.
I mean, that was your Vice player on Lotus before they swapped to the Viper. Now in their zone on to the Sentinel. And now with, again, the proactivity kind of, you're not expecting Ghost in any of these off angles, and it's been working. But speaking of expecting the unexpected, Miara in hell still should have been done and dusted, but it's trade after trade, and it's down to Mizube in the 1v2 surrounded and dealt with. Ghost denied initially, but will ultimately reach their 6th round safety net.
Last round in the half.
User credits.
The buys here, I feel like everybody's either some people have like a bulldog. Sometimes we're seeing sheriffs with the rifle rounds. They've been very back and forth here as teams are kind of like understanding their economy and what they feel comfortable with. But we're seeing some trades that are surprising in these situations. This one quite normal, like you said, got pinned in that situation. We'll see here another round where it goes sheriff, two vandals, and the stinger. What can they produce coming out of this one? I mean, you keep those close. I'd say stinger. Throw that towards garage if you want to start to lurk. But everybody's got to be with the breach, so it might be tough to organize the team, and they may head towards B.
Yeah, half buy situation with the Rolling Thunder online is interesting. Makes you think they might be trying to piece together a play because it is the last round of the half. But again, Ghost has other plans. They've been doing a good job disrupting these executions, unlike over on Lotus, where TV just went the other way. Bunny be nice deposit. They have a get a jail free card, unlike the ISO, so that's fairly clean. And they might even be able to find Kaide.
Patience.
Give me a corpse.
Bunny be very nice.
Ariel?
Give me a corpse.
They almost got caught by 3 players.
Yeah, that was close. Spinning the knife definitely helped to get out safely, obviously. Always does. That or squeezing the bear. You're good. Smoke's coming in. A little bit of long C support coming in from Mizu Babe. And they still look to wait for Ghost's movement. Oh, no.
Ooh.
They will make Ghost move. Popping them up through the air is going to be the Rolling Thunder that allows NUI to do a lot of damage.
Left.
Can they clear it? It's still hidden. The gate is up, and it's going to be Bunny B who activates, and it's almost another one. Badison and Mizu Babe continue to fight.
And Guitarist caps off the round, caps off the half, 7-5 going to Ghost. And I want to say that cage that was popped was the kill trip cage for Aerial, and it protects Bunny B, kind of veils the horrors within so that they're protected from the Rolling Thunder, can have that surprise element. I mean, Bunny B was at the crux of this round from the opening kill to the reposition, and here's that moment, that cage acting as a shield. And then 1-2, dark cover doesn't matter. They find the advantage. Trust in their team to close out the rest of the round. So 7-5 on an attack side at Haven. Now you're heading into your attack side here. Again, this was what we expected. A little fumbliness around the new composition over on Lotus, but now they're back to basics, back to what they know. And again, a map that they've hidden for the majority of the season, coming out and being a really strong spotlight point.
Can they keep it going? A pistol round here would catapult them very nicely towards that 13, towards the third map. Oh, and they instantly take down Kaide. Oh, that Sentinel utility down. What is Bunny B doing right now? That was incredible flick shots, just resetting for each kill.
Last player.
Bunny B online.
Spike planted.
Aerial online. Great cam position. Tracks down an NW in window. All down to Battison, who's had an insane map as well. Insane individual heroics. But when it's the power friendship or 4 strong firing line, it's still going to be a second Ghost gaming pistol for this map. But Riv, remember the first half? That second round got a little shifty.
It did. It did. We'll just have to see how shifty this one gets. We already see a quick judge from Bunny B here hopping around. We'll have to see where that goes. Maybe. I mean, they got a lot of money up in this round.
Last player
So
standing.
we might actually see a buy. Might actually see a buy and protection on that if they do get one. So Kataris has the Vandal in handle. And that was a buy from Aerial. So Aerial coming up with those few gives the buy over. And they're going to go ahead and play this to just absolutely take control of the game and go for the throw to TTV here and make sure they get nothing. So honestly, Ghost cannot lose a person here. Or I think this is kind of a lost round for them, right?
Yeah, for the most part, I do think, I'm trying to look at the money situation, Katars would obviously be able to buy Aerial because they sported the Vandal. It would be dicey. Yeah, it would be rough nonetheless. And again, I think that's why they're going for this more aggressive buy, is because they realize, wait, kind of tossed the second round of the first half. That should have set us up for really strong defensive success. I mean, really good that they even got the 7-5 half to begin with after that. But all in all, I think it's just, again, trying to improve upon mistakes. It's a risky one at that if things go the south again. But all of this is trying to be preventative. But
yeah,
coming in, to me, it's the second round of the half. We've got to see what this looks like for TV. I'm expecting, right, this is the Haven composition of old, pre-Tejo. They were playing the Tejo. So I'm expecting, I was going to say, some sort of, jet breach setup. And they are going to do that, but not towards A, towards mid. While they can trust Kaide to hold down, anchor the A site.
Oh my. It is an adventure. Aerial's about to find out right now. Oh, that timing, though.
No.
That timing is
You're gonna see the trip.
Crazy talk.
Trip
They're
gets
gonna see
broken,
the
they
trip,
head on
and
a
then
swivel.
Aerial's going to know.
Yeah. Or not.
He said, yeah, keep pushing.
This is a huge gamble. Is it going to pay off?
Spike planted.
Aerial's got
Gonna
the
get
timing,
Mizu
so
Babe.
Mizu Babe's going to go down at the last second, and then they're going to push from spawn and have every control over here. Just quick to take out. Wow. Ghost just came in from every angle on that and actually kind of lurked a little bit harder on the lurk than TV did.
Really nice call there.
Yeah.
Nigel on the Ghost side, just instead of Aerial playing for, 1, maybe 2 in window, they play for the surefire control of defender spawn.
And
Push in. And, secure the flawless. So obviously they chose right in that kind of 50-50 situation.
Yeah.
And this looks like we're steamrolling towards that map 3 of Icebox at this point. Right? We'll see how the third round goes. I think that's where we can kind of start to call it or not because of this hefty buy, because it will be the bonus situation. And look, they've only supplemented, right? Aerial had the Ghost. We mentioned they sported the buy for Kataris. Now,
So
he has their own rifle in hand. Ooh, and they're going C. This is the comp designed for C-Take Simulator, folks.
Not wrong. Wall up, run behind the wall, get some shadow to the right, figure out what's Sova Dart behind. Yeah, just a 1, 2, 3 punch you can easily walk into. And they are going to run a bit of that play right now. Mizu Babe on the right side, and not a good position. Almost gets crossfired, but gets the safety before the fight. And that's a good start.
Oh, and they're paranoid with no trade comes through.
Ow.
Irene at the side. Bunny with the judge, though, still wreaking havoc out of CT. But again, it's Irene always there when their team needs a clutch factor. The job's not done yet, but with Spike down on C and Aerial in a 1v3, it becomes a little difficult. Interestingly enough, respect is being shown. Kind of vacating the C side, kind of giving Spike control over to Aerial. As soon as Spike goes down, that's when they'll kind of regroup, retake. So this will be nice. Aerial then will be kind of guaranteed the neural theft as long as she gets the plant down for the following round. So even though they're going to lose the bonus, it feels like at this point, they've set themselves up for a nice continuance.
Yeah, they got the space, especially if Aerial can do more of this lurking. I mean, you don't consider Cypher to be super amazing, right? It's great on a retake, but also the earlier, if you can get a first blood, or the earlier you can activate it in a round, right? It's the better return you get. So especially if they can continue to get these first bloods, get Aerial to that position, they're in even better shape. So another shot there to bring a Ghost into the winning column. But but nice trades though,
Spike
back and
down.
forth here.
Yeah, I
30
mean,
seconds
Irene
left.
again, the trade master, and then also just kind of expecting maybe Ariel not
Yeah.
to go for the plant, not to go for the bait, and instead looking for kills first, a closer kind of fight in the
Right.
post plant. So all in all, that starts supercharging the Rolling Thunder. So again, great way to try and turn things around when Ghost is on the precipice of double digits. But this is the round that matters.
Yeah.
The full buy for both sides. Again, this is make or break money wise for Ghost. TV, a little bit better off, but all in all. Some late coverage by Kylie on the C site, probably spotted out here, I would say, by Bunny being Guitarist. And they're going just, again, C-Take Simulator, try and clean up the loose ends that slipped away, maybe not trusting the heroics from
dear.
Irene yet again in the last round.
Ooh, that lurk's taken out. Bunny D wants to fight right away, seeing 3, says, I'll take 3 on for a moment, thank you very much. And I could almost feel that in the dimensional drift. There's 3 right here kind of thing. All right, we're going into C. We're going to plant. But, oh, Mizu, the timing.
Stealing sight.
Oh, such good paranoia. But the peak.
Shield. And all of that, I mean, they drew them into Garage, into the Judge. Now that the shots don't align, everything starts to crumble. Ghost rebound back towards site, back towards fighting CT. And the double digits affair for Ghost here. I mean, TV, I think they got what they wanted. They just were really hoping that Mizu would be able to get a few kills or that paranoia would connect onto more players. So, all in all, again, sometimes gunfights will be lost at the end of the day. And now you're looking at trailing 4.
Stealing sight.
So beyond, obviously, running away from the dimensional drift, I think Ghost has figured out that it's a very defaulty style round play. Per se for TV, right? They get down to a minute. At 1 minute, they're going to back up, right? They're going to be more anchor. They're going to go retake. So it's early. They're going to find just Kaide in sight. They can rush in. They're going to gate crash in. They're going to go in. They can just find somebody at one site. And they're going to do it again towards C and rinse and repeat.
And right as the change comes through for TV as well, right?
Yeah.
You fought for a heavy 4 strong A. It's an eco round. Obviously, you went for the gamble stack. Now you're even regrouping with Kaide through mids. You're going to clear out all this fake, make sure there's no aerial lurk to be found. And this does make me a little bit nervous, I was going to say, for Kataris, but that's exactly why Vanitas has now set up the crossfire here. So all in all, they have all the information. They hear some players grass. They hear maybe the reposition through B. And, I mean, I'm nervous that these many players are playing off-site C long, to be honest, when you already utilize your Hunter's Fury, but we'll see if it works out.
I think they're ready. They got a bit from Vanitas here, and I was going to say Guitarist, but Vanitas has to come up big now to make sure Garage does not get lost. The paranoia starts to come in. This fight is huge. And Vanitas comes up even bigger, and now they look a little bit safer for the situation.
They were just confident to win the fights, but the NUI we're talking about here, it's Irene we're talking about here, but time not in their favor, so and you just looking to do damage, take some guns out of the hands of Ghost. Irene, a similar plan in mind. Gonna take a weapon away. I was gonna say out of the round, or seemed like she was going to. All in all, it's actually Miara.
Yeah.
The closings out get Ghost their 11th, and wouldn't it be poetic? I'm just gonna say it now and test out my future telling abilities. If we went 13-6 for 13-6.
Absolutely. But it looks like TV's timeout says no.
Other
They're going to come
plans.
back right here. 1 pip for both Mizu and Irene, mostly that Rolling Thunder. NUI is 2 away, so they can easily get a long A control with Battison and a normal default, because they've been playing default defense anyways. And then set up from there as Battison has that ult, and Battison has been really good on connecting, so we even use that to delay on the take and then make sure the retake hits. Who knows? But this timeout is going to be the last one here for TV to make sure they can just stop the bleeding that Ghost continues to put on.
And that's where I'm a little bit nervous if we think about it, right? The last time out that TV took, Ghost actually looked cleaner and more coordinated coming out of it.
Came right back
so,
harder.
yeah, to me, I mean, it's a little dicey because I think you had to take this time out no matter how you spun it for TV, right? If you lose this rifle round, you're broke. It's map point for Ghost. You're likely seeing Icebox. But I just wish they were a little bit closer to the ults, and that's what I think TV has to play around. Like, you're one off from the Rolling Thunder, you're one off from Mizu Baby from the Shadows. So I kind of look back to what they did on the Eco round last round where they fought for A control, right? Maybe set up some warp collection there for Irene, but looks like they might have other plans. Some coordination perhaps between NUI and Mizu Babe, off of a Paranoia, off of a fault line to fight down grass. They look like they're trying to play Interruption on that C-Take simulator, but Ghost is finally switching things up again, maybe playing slower, more defaulted, or maybe even leaning A here. Just waiting for this kind of change-up aggression that you expect out of a timeout.
Nice coverage on this mid push. Definitely something that they've practiced before. As they continue to keep each other covered here. So they're looking for deep inserts on this to start off the round. Yeah, that's what you see Battison backing up now. That's, again, those 1 minute anchor positions we see TV taking position on to play safer. But what is this? What is this? We forgot about C.
Oh my gosh, and how does Bunny get a second? And they're going to look for a third on the Kaide as well. And Kaide says, we've lost too many players. We're a little bit spread thin. Let's play a little deeper off here. And I mean, look at the interruption here. And UI could pose Yara. Are we trying to fake the C runaway? There's so many moving pieces this round. And Vanitas, you have to win this engagement. And you do at the precipice moment required. Kaide now trying just to stem the bleeding here. Get another timing, but the spike has already passed. Kaide, you're at least going to get something for your efforts on the Vanitas. No, you're not! It's over! Map point for Ghost is found. Again, what is a change trying to come out of a timeout? And it feels like Ghost just has better handle over the entire map control.
Yeah, and identifying threats, where those threats might be, as well as just, that lurk. You can see how much that confused TV there. It's the one time they were like, all right, we're going to commit, and that little window Bunny V takes advantage of, and the rest of the round falls apart. And not because of TV, because Ghost just continues to add this immense pressure. Beautifully played here, shaking off Lotus and coming into Haven, firing on all cylinders.
Hey, if you can come back after an 0-13 against Wadada, you can come back from anything here, and that's what they're proving now. Little ships passing in the night with the short control not being addressed just yet out of Ghost. Could pose to be a problem later on. They thought they gamble stacked on the eco. Well, now the Rolling Thunder is set up. Kaide perfectly out of short, out of this sight. Smoke, you're trying to take CT space, but you're stunned. So Kaide from Graffiti's still alive. Qatar is able to get the free frag, but the neural theft is online, and it is down to the 2-on-2 with both players' positions revealed.
Oh no, well, it's starting to be an UI. He's able to get it, and they stay alive for another round. Super heady play, too, coming in from Kataris to TP over to Mayara for the double play there, but they got sorted around the boxes. NUI keeps TV alive, and it is a scramble just to get that round, so you can see what kind of game and teamwork it takes just to get these rounds away from Ghost pressure right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, it felt like that round was gifted out of the mistake from Ghost not to clear out short, right? Like, the Rolling Thunder, I think, still would have had an impact, but not as big of a bang for your buck. So, all in all, I think it was just TV being the masters of chaos that round and come out on top thanks to the Blade Storm. The ults utilized gives them a lifeline, but now they don't have that to rely on. They got to win 5 rounds out. Maybe you'll get one more impactful ult cycle by the end of it. Versus Ghost, they're starting to charge up this grand finale as well, right? Neural Theft, Hunter's Fury online, one off from the Dimensional Drift that you could get out of this deep A control if Battison doesn't murk ya, and all in all, they still have a long way to go, but that was a good round.
They're playing with that short coverage now, so Battison can get one shot off just like you got, and they get the ult out of Mayara and another kill. Oh, Ghost just tried to activate really fast without having the people in position. They still have a good hit on A site, but TV's backed up so they can use the full force just to get back in.
Yeah, Ghost just looked to answer that round. They wanted to close things out, get over to Icebox, and now they're getting punished for it. Vanitas, who's been coming online these last few rounds, punished, isolated, hung out to dry in Graffiti, and it's all down to Miara. The 1v5, the ace clutch required to put this map away, and, I mean, the money's not the best, so maybe even contemplating a save here, if they can even tuck away for this long. 35 seconds-ish to still go. Oh. What a bounce back.
4 more chances for Ghost here. And I think they kind of reset themselves, and maybe even a timeout, you know, like to help do that. I think they can do it themselves. They don't need it, but I think you called it there as, you know, you get antsy, you want to finish it, you're doing things you usually wouldn't, you greed a little bit for a certain play, instead of just going back to that round where you read an entire push by TV, right? And you had him at every angle. So I think they go back to that, cover A, and we'll see if they can hold this push.
They're actually scraping the bottom of the barrel too, forcing out these weapons, trying to tough out the last round that they need.
Who's next?
And you mentioned just, okay, take it to the A side, keep it simple. That's exactly what they're going to do off the dimensional drift, right? Bunny B got punished. This is your impactful player for this map. And now they're trying to keep it alive with a deep deposit in hell, and it works out. They're claiming this deep control. Irene, though, is always that player to disrespect it, to sneak away with kills that she is not warranted receiving. And that's going to keep TV in this round barely with a chance to retake this A site.
Here comes Aerial.
Oh,
They're
no.
never going to expect this timing as they're looking
Especially
at
with
the
the
drone.
drone.
They're preparing themselves to get... Oh, the miss!
No!
Now they will, but it still won't matter.
One enemy remaining.
Arrow in these ADS, whether it's Guardian or a Vandal, has been insane this map. And all that to say, it's Mizube in the 1v3 to keep TV's chances of this map alive. And it's the power of friendship that's likely gonna cap it off. The 13-8 victory for Ghost Gaming to send us to map 3 of Icebox, where elimination